There were certain things that happened in our lives, and particularly the loss of a sister that was 1 year younger than me,
Oh, I'm
that
sorry.
really triggered. Thank you. That really triggered my mom's path to change, and as a result of her path changing, then the trajectory of all of our paths. So, my mom unfortunately felt depressed and also started drinking, and eventually led to her abusing drugs, and uh, that really changed her course. And then my parents, they split, they divorced, and all of our family sort of disintegrated.
Mm,
And all of my sisters, we ended up, except for the oldest one, we all ended up sort of in streets and in gangs and things like that. And this was in the early 90s, as you may remember how
yeah.
Salinas was. And unfortunately, we were, really perceived a very violent city. And so we sort of, that was the times that I'm talking about. And I think that really had a big effect on my life, my family, my sisters. And so I dropped out of school. I went to seventh grade for maybe a couple of days to Alsasel, and then I basically just I wasted a few years of my life, involved in many negative things. I was a really lost soul. I would say I was a lost little girl. I was hopeless. I was angry, and
Mm,
I took really bad paths, and I made a lot of bad decisions as a young little girl. And so that took me into court and juvenile hall, and I ended up in front of a judge, and the judge said, it's either group home in Sacramento, or my dad showed up actually and said I can take her to Mexico. So I left to Mexico for 2 years.
oh, wow.
And so when I came back, as a young teenager still, I came back, but I was already pregnant. And this was a little bit before I turned 15 years old. So I have a son that is a grown adult. I'm very proud of my son, and I'm very proud that I didn't give up on life after having been through a lot, and that I was able to go back to school. But before I went back to school, I joined the workforce, and it was through joining the workforce that where I was encouraged by my bosses to go back to school.